We are recording then. Who wants
Wait.
to log in?
I feel like someone else should start because if I start, it's pretty long.
That's all good.
Okay.
I can start with question one then.
Okay.
My question one, what problem did the distilled water in the patient's bloodstream create? I kind of put it's kind of simple. Simple. The distilled water could have created a hypertonic environment that caused the water or the solute to rush out of the cell, rush into the cells and dilute the blood, essentially causing the cells to burst, not kind of like destroying the cells and diluting the blood, making it less thick, essentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine is a little bit long, so I can just read.
Yeah.
Okay, give me just okay, so I put distillated water, it's hypertonic compared to blood plasma. And when introduced into the bloodstream, uh, it drastically lowers the blood osmosis concentration.
Okay.
Uh, and this disrupts the normal osmosis balance, causing water to rush into the blood cells throughout osmosis. As the cells swell from the excess water, they eventually burst in process called homolysis, homolysis, and this prevents the blood from carrying oxygen properly and severely reducing the blood ability to transport oxygen to tissue and cells. And the outcome is failure or death and causes imbalance in cells and creates damage. That's what I put.
I put it's hypotonic. Um the distilled water created a severely hypotonic environment in the patient's bloodstream, unlike saline, which is isotonic because it matches the salt concentration of the blood. Distilled water lacks solutes.
Okay. I also put hypotonic and I put that the distilled water in the patient's bloodstream created a dilution of the plasma, which would be the hypotonic since it would be intaking a lot of water. It would like wash out the plasma in the blood cells. So I put hypotonic. And I think Isabella and how do you know pronounce your name again?
Instead of DZ, just put the J and read it like that, and it should be correct. If you put D instead of DZ, you put J and read it Janana.
Janana?
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 Janana.
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 We're doing
Janana.
great, guys.
No.
How long we know each other and we're still like, how do we pronounce it? We're doing great.
Okay. I think
It's
y'all
okay.
could put hypertonic, correct?
No, I
Yes.
did hypo.
Hypo.
Hypo. You did
Hypo.
hypo.
Yeah. Because
Mhm.
there's so much, because it's less in the blood cells, so the water is moving into the blood cells, so it's bursting it, which is why the blood's like diluting essentially, because it's just lack of blood, because like killing itself, essentially. Well,
What about you, Janana?
Hypotonic.
Hypotonic? Oh, okay.
okay.
Okay, so we all got hypotonic. I think we just gotta make sure we're all in the same track on why it's hypotonic.
Mm.
So are
And
we
I think
gonna
we have the
match?
similar ideas.
I have a question. Are we gonna match all our questions to this one same answer?
Yeah, I mean, essentially, we all have the same thing. It's just, we put
It's
Yeah.
our little
everybody
spice to
wrote,
it.
yes, everybody
Mhm.
wrote differently, but yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe if y'all don't have to leave, because I know Isabella does have to leave, we could start another meeting just to discuss and just send Isabella an
Mhm.
update if you don't have anything to do.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine. Let it get it done.
Yeah.
Yes. All right, next question. All right, who wants to go this time?
Okay, what happened to the patient's blood cells as a result? So this is what I put. When distillated water enters the patient's bloodstreams, it creates a hypotonic environment compared to the inside of the red blood cells. These cause water to move into the red blood cells through osmosis. As the water enters, the cells begin to swell because they could not manage the extra fluid. Eventually, many of the red blood cells burst in process called hem hemolysis.
Yeah.
When this occurs, uh, the protein that carries oxygen is released into the blood. Uh, the cells attempt to filter out the free, unneeded protein, causing the urine in the Foley, what's that? Whatever his name is.
Oh,
Uh,
Foley catheter.
and the bag started to appear red, and the color red in the bag became more pronounced because a large number of red blood cells had been destroyed.
All right. I can just go next. I just put again kind of simple. The blood cells would have burst since the water would rush into the cells because it's a hypotonic situation, and therefore because they were bursting, they weren't able to reproduce probably as the doctors planned to with like originally. So because of that, they couldn't bring more oxygen to the body, which is why he flatlined.
I put the same thing basically. I kept it simple. I put the patient's blood cells began intaking water. A high concentration of water caused the cells to burst.
Okay, that
Yeah,
sounds good.
I essentially put the same thing. I said the red blood cells swelled and burst due to the influx of water from the hypotonic solution. Um, and it released hemoglobin into the bloodstream, which is later observed as a red colored urine.
Yeah.
Question three.
Three is considering the function of the blood cells, why did the patient's oxygen level fail or fall?
Well, I
Fall,
think
right?
it's all. Yeah,
Okay.
Well,
dog.
Okay. I put the function of the red blood cells is to transport oxygen from the lungs to the rest of the human body. The patient's oxygen levels declined because the red blood cells swelled and burst and did not continue to carry oxygen.
Uh, I put
I
red blood. I
go
put
ahead.
the okay. I
Sorry.
put red blood cells contain hemoglobin. Hemoglobin. Why I keep saying hemoglobin?
No,
Hemoglobin.
Goblin, you're good.
The
It's
pro.
hemoglobin, yeah.
Okay, the protein responsible for carrying oxygen throughout the body. When the red blood cells ruptured, they could no longer transport oxygen. As a result, the patient's oxygen saturation levels dropped and rapidly, and the tissues were deprived of oxygen, contributing to organ failure and ultimately cardiac arrest. Sorry, rest in peace.
Mine was again. I kind of like keep mine just simple. Red blood cells carried the oxygen throughout the body, so if the number of red blood cells dropped dramatically, the patient just wouldn't be able to get the oxygen to the vital parts of the body. So kind of what Leslie said too.
Very similar to a mixture of everybody's. So it's pretty much the same that, the red blood cells couldn't carry oxygen um, and the cells burst.
Okay.
I'm glad that question at least everybody had like a very similar answer.
A
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
That makes that one at least easy.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's read the last one then.
What was it? After Tom made his error, is there anything that could have been done to save the patient's life? I put stop the infusion immediately upon noticing symptoms, which I feel like should be common. Um, uh, Administer fluids and medications to stabilize blood pressure and counteract shocks. and provide oxygen and mechanical ventilation if needed.
I can go.
Yeah.
So I kind of put that I don't know anything. I don't know about much about medical practices, but I said maybe Tom could have started a quick blood drip instead to put back some of those red blood cells in order for the oxygen to continue to circulate. And if anything, hopefully that the direct blood would be able to get them stable, keep him stable long enough to hopefully get that distilled water out of his system.
Okay.
I went, I don't know. Now you're making me doubt my answer. Well, I think it's pretty similar, but I put after Tom's error, the patient's life could have been saved if the patient received the blood transfusion, initiating an isotonic environment where oxygen levels could have been balanced out. Since you're having water in to enter, you want like blood to come in and
Mhm.
have more blood cells, and it would balance out. So I thought that would create like an
No,
isotonic environment.
yeah, you're 100% correct.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Go on my track. You're good.
Don't,
Okay,
You're
because
good.
don't,
I think
just because I
before you
didn't
did.
say it or anyone else didn't say it, don't think you're wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's all. Hey, trust me. For these things, I feel like there's a lot of different types of correct
Yeah.
answers.
Hmm.
And if we use different technical stuff, and this isn't, I don't even think this question necessarily is it a right? It's a what could he have done? And we'll all put in what he possibly could have done. So
Yeah.
that is totally okay. Don't doubt yourself, girl.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mine it's a little bit long, so I first said these could have been possibly, but slim since the cells have been sus sustained large damage to the body functions. Um, uh, After trauma, administered distilled water instead of appropriate fluid, the patient condition worsened significantly through pumped intervention could have been reduced the impact. These should have been stopped immediately to prevent further damage. Administering a balanced salt solution might have restored the fluid equilibrium in the bloodstreams. Additionally, supporting the heart and monitoring blood salt level would be beneficial. Taking the measurements could have reduced the damage to the patient's cells and helped his chance to survive.
I like how you went to like the salt as a different direction. Like here you are thinking about like replacing the blood or the oxygen. You're like, actually the salt would work too, and that's right, yeah, because it'd balance out like the solutes and like on each
Mm.
side. So that's I didn't think about that. That's kind of cool.
Thank you. No, I just thought because it really this is a timing issue. So even if they if you don't realize the damage early enough, I'm not in a medical field, but I try to read a lot
Mhm.
general. So I was like, if the damage is too big, blood transfusion would not help, not nor the cells level would help because they already burst. The damage was done too much to the cells and tissues, and it's like with the solution or the solution that they gave him, water solution,
Mhm.
it was already spreaded too much through his body. So I was thinking kind of logical way. It's like it's already in his blood. It's already damage. It's so huge, so it's hard to recover very quick unless it's realized on time, which they didn't.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely like with the little bit of knowledge I know and all the Grey's Anatomy I watch because of my wife. Um,
Little
yeah,
cameo.
it all depends on timing in real life and then even in shows. If your timing is too late, then you could
Too
try
late.
everything you want, but it's too late,
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, that's your field,
Yeah.
not mine at all.
No, same here. My sister wants to be the doctor. I don't. So I'm like, you know this stuff. I don't. I know my sports. That's it.
Yeah.
No, guys, I end up in this in this situation long time ago, I got like infection, and I end up in a hospital where I was almost between the dead on live or living. So, you know, it kind of scares me when it comes to these. So I was like, the timing is everything.
Mhm.
Wow.
Ooh, I want to keep
Yeah.
this on track though, just because I'm so sorry. I do have to leave soon.
Yeah.
But besides that, so we did the 4 questions. Do we have to do anything else for the case study? Because we did the first part. I have that up on YouTube. So I will submit all of this hopefully by tonight. But is there anything else we have to do for this meeting?
I think maybe if we all can, maybe try to meet again just to show each other our final submission,
Okay.
like final edits and everything.
Yeah, okay. I'm done with that.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
so
fine.
I'd say hold on to submitting the videos and just wait for that meeting to happen.
Okay. Yeah, I can do
And
that.
from there, we could just be done with the group project.
Sounds good.
One thing
Okay.
I did notice is that in her, if you go to the what's it called, the 2L, and you go to the group project, she does have like a set of rules that she wants you to apply during this project, and she wants us to apply the term plasmolysis and lysis.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I
What was
So
think
this
we
posted?
used,
Oh, wait. Okay, yeah. So for the fourth question,
Where'd she post
what?
that? Oh, I might have missed it to be honest.
Yeah,
I'll show you right now if you want me to.
I'm trying to find it. It says in the group project.
Yes, so if you go to the group project,
Yes.
and once you're there, group project case study, it says to partake in this project, you'll be assigned 3 to 4 students, and then it's number
Uh-huh.
1, 2, 3, 4, and it says it right there.
Yeah, understand osmosis in plant cells and apply the term plasmosis. And what is this word? What is lysis? Am I just dumb? What is this?
wait, hold on.
The disintegration of cells by
Yeah,
rapture. Oh,
it's what we have. It's what we have. I guess she just
yeah,
wants
yeah,
us
yeah.
to be able to like
Yeah.
apply it
yeah.
So
right
like,
to the
I,
point.
So for the fourth question, there was also a possibility where they could initiate hemodialysis or plasma, whatever the word, to remove excess water and hemoglobin from the bloodstream if available. If available. That's a big if.
it's a big if.
Yeah, I see. I see.
We talked about plasmosis, I think, last time too. I'm pretty sure someone mentioned it.
Yeah, I think we all mentioned it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
osmosis more than once.
Yeah. All right, so I think good job pointing that out. I don't know why I missed that.
And I totally
Okay.
forgot. I didn't know why I didn't read that off of my fourth. That was one of my answers for the fourth question. I just didn't read it.
I
Okay.
think
so I have a question. If we are all submitting the same to her, we have to agree to the same answer. All answers are very similar, but
Mm.
we just all have to incorporate to one answer for every question.
I
So,
think that's the best. Like, let's say we all have, like, yes, we all have similar answers right now, but I say if we can like send each other, or we're gonna post it on the
mhm.
discussion board for our group. Once we post our answers there, we'll choose which one's the best and which one we're gonna go based off exactly. Not like word for word, but just the same concepts, the same idea. So, like for
Mhm.
example, you
I'm gonna
see
stop
how
recording,
for
by the way.
question. Wait, what happened?
I'm gonna stop recording. That's okay, because we already, I think we did the stuff we were supposed to, or did we just keep
Okay.
recording? Okay.
we can stop. I think we can stop recording because we
Okay.
finished what we needed for the class. This
Sounds
is
good.
just
Yeah. Okay.